نويت وأربعين أزلنا خلوة رياضة السلوك حسبنا الله حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم. We're asking support, madad from our Shaykh, inshallah, to send us something that is going to benefit us, dunya and akhirat. Not just to collect knowledge, but to collect knowledge that is going to give benefit to us. Knowledge that has no benefit, there is a curse. This is according to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So many also speaking about knowledge, but it's not knowledge that they experience. There's knowledge that some other people they experience. You can open up a book, read about knowledges of the prophets. You can open up the books and read about the experiences of the awliya Allah, of the saints, of the friends of Allah. It's not yours. You know, if you copy something that someone has written, there's a law for that. It's plagiarism, right? It's against the law. There is such a thing called spiritual plagiarism too, you know. That people, they're just stealing, but they're not manufacturing anymore. Those who are claiming everything has to have a proof. There's a proof for prophethood too. There's a proof if you're a friend of Allah. It's not just, I had this dream, I had this vision, I can fly in the air. So what? You open the television, so many people can fly in the air too. What makes you different from them? What are you carrying? What are you giving? It's not what you're taking, it's what you're giving. I was reading an article today. Somebody said about cults. I said, this is interesting. So many people, they call us a cult. Let me see if we fit. And this man was talking about cults. He says not just religious cults, but other kinds of cults also. There are the cults that does not have anything to do with Allah. It says two things, power and money. I say, Alhamdulillah, because we're very poor. We don't take, we give. Allah is the one who's going to provide. So you don't take, you give. That is the sunnah of the Rasulullah ﷺ. Even when Allah gives him, before he takes, he says, what about my nation? This is why they said that his love is more than the love of a mother to her newborn child. He is preoccupied with us. He is in love with his Lord, but he's preoccupied with us. He's caring for us. Just like that ayat is saying, Laqad ja'akum. That ayat that these reformist Muslims, they hate. These ones who are Quran alone people, that they say don't take any hadith, just take from the Quran. They love the number 19. They say, oh, very mystical, this. But we're saying, if you scratch a little bit, you go to the ilm of Hurufiyah, that even that ilm of 19 is taken from earlier nations, from the Yahudis. It's not taken from us. So they say everything now, the Quran is locked with this code 19. You cannot break it. Allah is the creator of law. Is he obligated to follow the law that he has created? Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they found certain things, it doesn't fit into this code 19. One of it is that ayat that we just spoke about. Laqad ja'akum. They say this ayat doesn't belong to the Quran. Throw it out. And in that ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, your prophet, he loves you. I'm paraphrasing. He loves you. He is very soft and compassionate and forgiving to the believers. And he's very tough on the unbelievers. And in that ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him from his divine names. The name of Ra'uf and Rahim belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not Ra'uf and Rahim. Do you understand? And he can give that to anyone that he wants to give. Because Allah is وَلَمْ يَكُلْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٍ. So Rauf and Rahim, they will say, if we say the Prophet is Rahim, oh, so many people are going to get saved. Rahim is for Allah only. But ayat is saying, Allah is saying. The Prophet is Rauf, the most soft-hearted, and Rahim, the extremely compassionate. If we try to understand the Rahim, we cannot understand. If we try to understand Rahman, that we begin everything with Bismillah, in Allah's name, we begin with Rahman and Rahim. Rahman has 99 parts, 100 parts. Awliyaullah saying, if Rahman has 100 parts, one part, or Rahman, the merciful, is divided for paradises, for the earth, for everything that is in creation, that gives everyone love to each other. 99 parts, Allah is not going to reveal subhanahu wa ta'ala until Judgment Day. Rahim, completely a mystery, completely beyond that. And the Prophet ﷺ is given the name of Rauf and Rahim. They don't like that, these people. These people who like different lifestyle, because they say there is Allah and there is me. What prophet in between? In reality, they're saying there is Allah and I am the prophet. There is a book, right? I make interpretation of that book as I like. What is Shariat? Is man-made. Later they're going to say Quran is man-made too. Why not? Because it's the Prophet ﷺ who spoke it, and it is through his belief. It is our belief. If they're going to ask, well, how do you know that Allah made it? Yeah, you can argue, you can say there's no mistake, this and this, but they put every kind of doubt into the study of the Quran now that even Muslims, their faith to the Quran is shaken. And 21st century Western scholars are standing up and applauding this kind of doubt, not yaqeen anymore in the faith, doubt. More doubt, more question, more intelligent you are. What we said before we started all this, we're not responsible to know every answer to every question, but these proud ones, they think that they know every question and they know every answer. That 1300 years of Islamic history, no one has asked before. Even the Sahabi Kiram, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anh, when they asked him about certain verses of the ayah, what does it mean? When they asked Imam Malik, what does it mean when Allah is settling on his throne? He says, just as it is, we don't discuss it, to think about it, to even question it, it is bid'at. You are ahli bid'at, get out from a majlis. They throw out a man because he asked this question. What is this showing? This is showing that there are limits. There are so many things we need to ask, so many things we need to learn, so many things that we need to better. Why are we jumping into Allah's knowledge? Do we know ourselves yet? Do we know our communities? Do we know this ummah? Do we know the Dajjaliyat that is in this ummah now? Do we know how to stand up against that Dajjaliyat and to be with Mahdi alayhi salam in this ummah? This ship is sinking. This ship is sinking. You have to hold on to anything that floats. You don't know how to swim, it's not the time to learn how to swim. These people, the ship are sinking and they're talking about stars. You sink with them. They don't like the ayat of Amana Rasul too, because Amana Rasul, I don't want to open this right now, but Amana Rasul was the ayat, the last two ayats of Surah Al-Baqarah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself gave to the Holy Prophet ﷺ in the Mi'raj that we just passed, without the intermediary of Jibreel alayhi salam. All other ayats Allah gave to Jibreel alayhi salam to give to the Prophet ﷺ, not Amana Rasul. Describing who? Describing the faith of the prophets, of all the prophets, and describing the faith of who? Those who call themselves believers. What they ask from their Lord. What is their attitude towards their Lord? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting inspiration in the Prophet's heart to speak these ayats, and Allah is saying Ameen to them. So they don't like. New style of Islam, new style of Muslims. So on the one hand, we have complete idiots who are following just their own ideas about Islam and destroying everything physically. On the other extreme, you have other bunch of idiots who is taking just their own interpretation, destroying everything spiritually, psychologically, morally, mentally, everything, destroying the identity. One outside, one inside. This is the time, our brothers, we have some guests I have to mention here, from Islamburg, they are here, alhamdulillah. We should pray for them, we are praying for them. But I'm letting those know who are listening from other parts of the world to pray for them too. They are not scared. Those idiots who are saying we want to come and want to have a protest, we want to show them this and that, bring our guns and everything, because they have Allah on their side. Because they have the Prophet ﷺ on their side. Because they have their Shaykh on their side, their Khalifa on their side, and they are standing up. And because of that, people who are standing up for haqq, regardless of their religion or their ethnicity, they're coming around too. So they want to have a protest. They're saying, we're going to have a counter-protest. I don't like the word counter-protest. We're going to have, I'm not going to use 70s American type, where they say, sit in, sleep in, everything. We're going to have a gathering of the hearts. A gathering, an association of the hearts that are standing up for truth. Standing up for what? Humanity. Just to be human. Don't ever let them to lie to you to say that Islam was not like this. For 1300 years, Islam has always judged everyone according to their humanity, not according to their religion, not according to their belief. If it is according to their belief, you think 1,000 years is not enough to turn the whole of India, to destroy every temple, every idol, and to make everyone to become Muslim? You think 1,300 years is not enough, that there's still churches and synagogues standing from Eastern Europe to Western China, from the steppes of Russia, North Africa, all the way down to Southeast Asia, especially with the Ottomans, that they gather hundreds of kingdoms together, that the unbelievers, when they cannot find safety with their own unbelievers, they come under the umbrella of Islam. This has been the constant in our history. This now, it is an anomaly. This now, it is a bid'at. This now, it is the worst time, because we don't have a Khalifa. You have a Khalifa. We don't have a Khalifa. Now you cannot even speak about a Khalifa. Oh, you speak about Khalifa? You must be ISIS. Oh, so easy. They just change it. They take certain buzzwords here and there, and they make certain people, wrong ones, to have these buzzwords. Now they poison the whole thing. But for 1300 years, we had a Khalifa. That's why there was a sword. There's protection. Astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayh. We are asking for protection. What are we doing here for? What are we trying to understand here? Keep our faith. We have our identity. Don't lose it. Don't be busy with outside, busy with ourselves. But we have to understand what is it that is outside that is affecting you. And you cannot just be, although we are top of the mountain, but we are looking everywhere. We are observing everything. Top of the mountain doesn't mean that you sit in a cave and you don't know what is happening. Holy Prophet ﷺ, when he went to the cave, the universes were exposed to him. There's not an excuse now to say we're not interested in anything. We are. We watch as much as it is. That is our responsibility. We're going to stand up and we're going to do something. In these days, the awliya Allah, they're saying, keep your faith simple. Following the advice of the Holy Prophet ﷺ in the last days, go to the mountain. Have your sustenance from a sheep. The understanding of that is live a simple life. Have whatever little knowledge that you have. Don't go around trying to learn too much because there's confusion everywhere. Sit and wait for Sahibul Zaman to appear. Nothing is going to change in this world. Nothing can change for the better. Every day is getting worse. The destiny of the Ummah is going to be rewritten at the night of Barat soon. Do you have to be a scholar or a saint to know what the next year's Barat is going to be? How our destiny is going to be? Madness, completely madness. The whole world lost their direction. Are we saying we're the only ones? We don't have direction too if it's not for our guides and our Prophet ﷺ. We'll be worse than that. We know. But hold on to those ones, your guides, and you'll come to safety, inshallah rahman. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Wa min Allahu tawfiq al-Fatiha. Amen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.